Looking for some sleeper wide receiver plays for week 15? I got 3 that I think might be good for you. Number 1, Josh Palmer of the Los Angeles Chargers, taking on Tennessee this week, which is actually giving up the most points to opposing wide receivers. He's not necessarily the number 1 target on this team, but he could still get you somewhere in the 8 to 10, maybe even 11 targets this week against Tennessee, and that could be big. The second wide receiver I think you might want to take a peek at, Alec Pierce from the Indianapolis Colts. Currently, he's facing a Minnesota team that is giving up plenty of fantasy points to opposing wide receivers, and again, not another guy who's the number 1 on his team, but one that gets targeted pretty regularly. He's gotten 8 targets in 2 of the last 3 games. I know the Pittsburgh game was a tough one for all the Colts players, but Alec Pierce is the guy that Matt Ryan looks at and is willing to target. Third wide receiver to look at would be Chris Moore of the Houston Texans. If you need a sneaky sleeper, I mean, last week he had 11 targets, caught 10 of them, and he's been getting consistently targeted since the Philly game in week 9. So this is definitely a guy that you can target and potentially put in your flex spot and get you some good value against a Kansas City team. All 3 of these teams I mentioned are in the top 5 when it comes to giving points to opposing fantasy wide receivers. So these guys could all help you in a pinch this week.